In this video I'm going to show you how to animate with Adobe Photoshop CS5 to do a 200 by 200 animation for a website, which is one of your outcomes for your vet multimedia. So let's create a new file, file new. I'm just going to call it animation. You can see I've already set to 200 by 200 pixels and the resolution is 200 pixels an inch, which is screen resolution. So click OK and see that's about the size of the box. What I'm going to do now is create some text on there. Just the school name would be good. So click on the text tool and make sure my colour's the school colour there. Might change the text type, text font here or typeface. Try that one there. And Noble Park will do, or SC. You can see I've got the text centered. Okay, also want to tick that, I'm happy with that. I want to create at least one image that goes on there at some point in time. So I'm going to do that in a minute. So I'm going to play File, Place, and I've got an image here, and it will resize the image automatically to fit on there. Let's move it down a bit. Noble Park SC. Okay, I'm happy with that. Click tick. Alright, what I want to do now is just go back to, there's a couple of views here. There's timeline animation, which just shows you across a period of how many frames what it's going to look like, and click on the other button, it just shows you a keyframe. So here is what frames we're going to have on here. A frame is like an image that you flick through. So what we'll do is we're just going to create a new frame. You can see I've got two layers here, 3 layers of background, the text and the image. I'm just going to create a new frame for my next, to create an animation, and I'm going to do a third one. Now you can see it copies the information into each of those frames, and I'm going to put there's no delay on any of those frames. So if this was paid at 30 frames a second, I could have 30 of these here and it would quickly flick through those frames one at a time, 30 in a second. Okay, what I want to do is make it change so that if I go to the middle frame here and move that image down, right, you can see suddenly it disappears off the screen, which is what I want. What I want, however, if I was to play this, it would quickly appear and disappear like that. I don't want that. I want it to actually maybe come from the bottom of the screen. So, seeing as that's what I've thought about, I'm going to change my mind here. I'm going to go back to this frame. I'm going to bring the image up because I want it to be there at the beginning of the movie. It doesn't really matter, and I want it to come in from the bottom. So I'm going to move that like that at the beginning. I'm going to go to the second frame, move it up. It always copies from one frame forward to the next, and then gone there. Now if I was to play that now, you can see it just looks like it appears and disappears. And currently it stops when it gets to frame 3, so I'm going to do it forever. Let's have a look. Click. Now that's not a very nice animation. It'd be quite annoying to watch that. So what I want to do is make it appear smoothly. So I'm going to click on this middle frame. I'm going to add other frames by tweening. Tweening means it fills in the in-between bits. So I'm going to make sure it tweens between the first layer and the second. By looking at previous frame, it's going to change the position. It's going to make sure it copies everything from all of the layers. Away we go. If you see here, if I click through, by clicking play, you'll see it'll appear now and disappear now. I haven't positioned it very well. That's because I'm in a hurry. So I could click on here and just move that over just with the keyboard, the arrows, just so that it's not too bad. And if I use more frames, I'd get a smoother animation. Right, I want it to end well as well, so I'm going to tween again, this time with the next frame, 5, all layers to position, it's going to automatically create. And now if I click play, we'll see I have to fix the position of it again. I forgot to do that again. Again, it's too late, should be in bed. Move that over, move it over, move it over, move it over, and this should be okay. Alright, so it should be a bit better. You can see there's a delay here. What I want it to do is pause here for maybe half a second, and pause the blank section for half a second, just to give it a nicer feel. So let's click play. So it'll pause, go back again. Right, so that's a very simple animation. You could add to this by having things come in from different places, having the text come on and go off at the same time. You could have it just flick through different images rather than having movement. You could have things fade in and out, fade out. Really, it's up to you, but it has to be 200 by 200, at least five different frames to be really impacting. What I'm going to do now is see what we can export that like. So I'm just going to click stop. And I'm going to save it first. I'm just going to call it animation. Okay, so it's there to pick up again. Now I'm going to try and export it as a movie. You can export it to Illustrator or other products, but I'm just going to render it as a video. Currently I've got it on MP4, which plays on most things, but I could do it as a Flash video, QuickTime, AVI, or an image sequence. But I don't want to do an image sequence. What I want to do is I'll just do it as a QuickTime movie. For Windows, you probably would do AVI or MPEG, and I'm going to do it at least 200 by 200 resolution, but we might need to do it higher. All frames, frame rate of 25. Okay, let's click render. Shouldn't take very long. Let's have a look at it now. So there it is. Let's click play. And that's actually blown it up quite big. Let's click play. You can see it's actually running quite fast, but it's not repeating itself as a movie. So what you need to do is go back to Photoshop and play with the settings to get it right. Often within a website you can set the movie to replay itself automatically anyway, but again you play with the settings to try and get it to do exactly what you want. So that's how you do an animation in Photoshop.